Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ash. I'm CTO and co-founder at Longan Vision. We are from Canada, and the company is based in Hamilton, Ontario. So our company is focusing on combining augmented reality technology with smart system to create a device that's suitable for harsh and extreme environment. So imagine this is a building on fire. This is what people normally see. All smoke, all dark, normally light would burn off. So our mission here is to enhance firefighter perception in the darkness with thermal imaging technologies. On top of this, we also want to enhance their situation awareness with visualized data and on different forms. And lastly, we want to expand their way of communicating with each other. So currently, the firefighter will just only use voice communication. With our device, we can do the video streaming. So to solve all those problems and give the answer to the mission, we came up with a device called Fusion Vision System, FVS device. So this is a smart visor, which is designed to mount it on all kinds of different firefighter helmet or safety helmet. And there are four major features with this device here. So the first one is we have our own protected edge detection, which allows us to enhance what firefighter would see in darkness. So this also outlines the objects in thermal vision. And second feature we have is this thing is really robust. So basically it's standing the heat. This works in 250 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes, or 120 degrees Celsius for up to 15 minutes. And also lastly, also this device is ruggedized and also modularized, so that means we are able to mount this on all kinds of safety and firefighter helmet. So we're not really particularly limited to, say, MSA brand or 3M brand. You can use anything you want. And lastly, this thing is capable of doing real-time information sharing. So with all those features, our product not only is doing well in the first responder market, we also attract a lot in the industry sector, especially in the mining and oil field. More on this later. Yes, so there are obviously a competition on the market. So what our major competitor would be the thermal gun, which is what the current firefighter and all the industry are using, a big bulky device to carry. So what makes us different from our competitor is, first of all, we're hands-free. This is very important. For the firefighters, if they need to do their job with one hand holding something, then obviously that's way less efficient than just having both hands available to them. So on the other hand here, also our device is modularized, like I mentioned. We can put on any kind like the firefighter helmet. So this makes us very different from some of the competitors, which they need to use a very special kind of equipment to use their device. So aside from direct hardware sales, we also have a special service called software as a service. So what we do is we're using our device as a platform. We're able to tailor the software to what the customer needs. For example, the firefighter may use the UI differently from, like, say, the people from working in the mining or oil industry. They want the screen looks different. They want some customization. This is what we can do at Longan Vision. So we have a largely set our footprint all across the globe. Mainly in Singapore, last Wednesday when we first landed here, we immediately met with the Singapore Civil Defense Department of Force. So basically, we've been talking and it's going really well, so they're interested in doing pilot testing with us. So in 2023, Longan Vision has done a lot of things. So in the first quarter, we finished the contract with ERDC, which is the Canadian Department of Defense. It's a $1.12 million Canadian dollar. And also we already started pilot testing globally and a lot of traction in the East Asia area. And aside from all those industry, aside from all the first responder market, we also attract a huge attention from the industry. One of the things worth to mention is the Fanta service. They're located in Texas and they're doing mostly service for the oil and mining companies. So this is the team. So we're mostly master's graduate students. So when we started off. So this is what I'm here for. Longan Vision has done in the past, we have collected about $1.4 million in the seed round. So that got us to here today. We come with like a MVP and also with some of pre-sales going. So what we're looking is in a lead investor for this round, which is up to $3 million per round. And this money goes to fulfill the orders we collected, and as well as some of the costs covering the manufacturing service and sales. So we have like my information to the left and also CEO Endo information to the right. It's supposed to be Endo here today, but unfortunately due to circumstances, he couldn't make it. So I'm speaking on behalf of him. That concludes to my presentation. If there are any questions, please ask.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting product. Very value and good positioning. I wanted to know whether there are plans to use the same product to improve the coordination between firefighters. Because typically in a firefighting scene, there are sort of different groups of people at different locations. This could be something that could be extended to a sort of bigger use case.
So you mean like localization for the firefighters?
Yeah.
Is that the question? Okay. So we do have a plan to actually create an add-on. So basically on this device here, on the top, this is a rail that's meant for adding different kind of device. But for the localization, we are talking to one of the third-party supplier, really big supplier, a tracker on the feet. It's called inertia movement tracking. So with that, we are capable of tracking where the firefighters are without using any kind of beacon device or any kind of beacon signal. And with that, we are able to somewhat display the information on the firefighter HUD to show like where they are currently, especially in this is kind of important in a completely, say, dark environment. Because anything goes like really complicated when it's dark and people could not see anything. So one thing they could rely on. But this feature is not out yet. We're still working to make sure it's a robust system before we push out the feature.
Is that location identification that you talk about, is it, can it identify height as well?
You mean the height? The floor, which floor they are on?
Yeah.
Yes, so this is called indoor localization. Yes, this is the key feature they're looking for. Firefighters decide they don't care about where they are in the floor, but they really care which floor they are in. So this is something that's why we are not really releasing the feature until we concrete and make sure this thing is robust enough.
Hey Yash, good presentation.
Thank you.
Do you have any clients here across Asia?
Do you have partners?
Clients?
Clients in Singapore?
Yes, Singapore, Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, yes, we have a distributor, GEA, which is in Thailand. They are, last year they were supposed to sell like 50 units, but unfortunately Thailand Fire Department, they bought like a bunch of like, what they call thermal guns already at the same time when we were there. So quite unfortunately, they could not buy the same product twice in the same year. So we're coming this year to just get the contract done. And in Korea, we already have some pre-sales. And this is why like, I'm leaving on Wednesday night, just go to Korea to see them burning the unit. They put it in fire. It's gonna be a fire show. And also in Japan, we already made some sales. We have a partner there. In Singapore, civil defense, the Singapore Civil Defense Force is a really interesting unit. We're talking about like the piloting test.
And what about your mining and oil and gas?
Mining and oil, actually, this is something we started this year. Like we got attraction, and they sent me a letter of intent, run for like I think it was somewhere 1 million, 2.5-ish. This is more a CEO thing. I've just highlighted. So yeah, so they did send us the letter of intent, and they're looking to purchasing our unit into their cooperating into their workflow. So currently, their workers or technicians, when they go into the field, they need to carry a thermal gun. Kill me. Yeah, they need to carry the thermal gun. Sorry. Want to sneeze, but I couldn't. Yeah. Okay. So they carry the thermal gun in their workflow, so they need to check the pipeline. So once they start on leakage, they need to mark it. And in the process, with our device, they do not need to use their hand to just waving around, just scanning stuff. They just have to look at it and get it done. So this streamlines their entire process and make them work more efficient. And oil company really love the idea, and they are looking into the purchase.
And where does this, you're raising $3 million for pre-seed. Where does that coin?
So the oil company,
Oh, no, your raise, your ask.
my ask,
Your company's ask. You're looking at raising $3 million for your pre-seed round.
Yeah.
Where does most of that go to?
oh, so the most of money goes into the production for the unit to fulfill the orders.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Great product. I think let's talk during the roundtable because I think Jenika's point about XYZ location,
Mhm.
independently of any network that may exist that may be damaged during a fire. I have an idea of potential partners for you maybe. So let's talk about that.
Thank you.
Any questions from the audience? If not, let's thank Ash for the presentation.